Okay, so here we'll start another paper. This time it's the 2007 June and it's the foundation tear, and this time it's the paper 2, which is with calculator. So if you just have a look at question 1, if you want to stop the video and have a go at that, we'll go through it. Okay, so for part 1a, the question here tells us we're given a formula for the cost of a trip to a theme park. So it tells you the total cost is the cost of the coach plus whatever the entry fee is multiplied by the number of people, the number of members who are going on the trip. So then it tells us there's 30 members, 30 people going in the trip. It tells us the coach hire is £350 and the entry fee is £6. So we can write out our formula again. Total cost is cost of coach plus the entry cost times the number of members. Then we can write down 350 under the cost of the coach plus the entry cost is £6 multiplied by 30 members or 30 people who are going on the trip. So 350 plus 6 times 30 is 180, and the answer is £530. Okay, for the second part, this time it says a different group paid a total of £450. The coach hire was still, this time was £300, and the entry fee still £6 each. So again, we're going to try and work out what the number of members is. So we've got our formula written out again, and we're going to put the numbers down underneath each bit. So it tells us the total cost this time is 450 equals the cost of the coach. This time it's £300 plus the entry cost, which was 6, multiplied by the number of members. That's what we're trying to find. So we can use the letter N for number. Okay, so now we know that 450 equals 300 plus 6 times n. Now to solve this little equation, hopefully you remember we need to try and get this number over to the other side of the equals, the other side of the equation, and whenever we move that 300 over to the other side, it becomes minus 300. So we've got 450 minus 300 equals 6n. 6n is still here on the right hand side of the equation. So 450 take 300 is 150 equals 6n. So now we know that 6n is equal to 150, and hopefully you'll remember that the way we work out n then is to divide by 6. We're going to do the opposite of multiply by 6. So we're going to divide by 6. So it's 150 divided by 6 equals 25. So the number of members there is 25. If we want to check that, we can go back and check n, which is 25, times by 6 is 150, plus 300 gives us 450. Okay, so try question 2, and we'll go through it in a few seconds. Okay, so for question 2, we're told it's 2 CDs at $8.49 each. So we can use your calculator to work that out, $16.98. Then they bought 3 DVDs at $14.99 each. Again, it's a calculator paper, so you can use your calculator. And that's $44.97. So that's a total of 2 plus 3 is a total of 5 items. So we need to check what the postage and packing is. So 4 to 6 items we pay £2.65. So we need to add £2.65 to the total. Add those 3 up using our calculator, and the answer is £64.60. Okay, have a look at question 3, and you can stop the video and have a go at it. Okay, for these ones, question 3, it's knowing your metric and imperial units for different things. So here, the metric unit for a distance, and this is quite a long distance, it's a road trip from Armagh to Newry. The answer there is going to be kilometres. Part B then, the metric unit to measure weight. And again, you need to remember that that's going to be in kilograms. So either your weight or the weight of a sheep would be measured in kilograms. And finally, 3C, the imperial unit to measure the height of a door. So again, you need to remember that's going to be either in feet or inches. Okay, have a look at question 4. We'll go through it in a few seconds. Okay, so for question 4A, you're asked to do a reflection of the shape, and you're given the mirror line, and of course, hopefully you remember the trick here is to count squares. So this corner is 1 square away from the mirror line, so its reflection is going to be 1 square on the other side. So you can take each corner or each vertex of the shape, count the squares, and mark the position where the reflection is on the other side. So you can see there you should get a shape like that. You can get a bit of tracing paper if you wanted to. You can trace your shape. Just trace that shape and the mirror line. As you can see, if I turn that over, so the mirror line is on top of the mirror line underneath, you can see that the shape lands on top of this, the shape that I've already done here for the reflection. So that's a way of checking if you want to check it using tracing paper. Okay, the second part then is a line of symmetry. So in this case, there's one line of symmetry. It's going diagonally from this top left corner down through this corner, and this divides this arrow shape exactly in half, and you can imagine that side there would fold over and land exactly on top of this side here. So that's indicating a line of symmetry. Okay, there's question 4D. Just have a look at that and we'll go through it in a few seconds. Okay, so we've got 4C here. Name the four-sided shape which has rotational symmetry of order 4, and hopefully you'll remember that that's the square. If you're not sure, again, you can get a piece of tracing paper, trace the square. So there's a square, and if you put your pencil in the middle of the square, now we're going to look at this shape rotating round through 360 degrees. Just follow that dot there, so it goes, fits on top of itself once, twice, 3 times, and then back to where it started. So that's rotational symmetry of order 4 for the square. And then for 4D, we've got a question about a spinner here. So we've got the color of the spinner is least likely to land on. So hopefully you can see the red sections in the spinner. There's 3 reds, orange, there's 2 orange, and pink, there's 1 pink. So the color that's least likely to land on is going to be pink, because that has only got 1 section. Okay, so this is question 5A, and we're asked what's the temperature shown on the thermometer. So first thing you need to check is we've got 37 degrees here, 38 degrees here. So how many divisions are there between 37 and 38? There's 10 small divisions, so that means each one of those divisions is going to be 0.1. So we've got 37.1, 37.2, 37.3, and the answer is 37.3. This next question is asking us then how much liquid is in this container. So we've got a container and it's shaded up to a certain level. How much liquid is in the container? So let's have a look at the scales here. Hopefully you might be able to see that's a 40 there and that's a 50. So this time there's 5 divisions between 40 and 50. So each little division is going to be worth 2. So we're going from 40, next one is 42, and then this level here is 44. So the answer for that one is 44 milliliters. And finally, the last bit down here is what fraction of the liquid should be poured out to leave 11 milliliters in the container. So effectively what they're saying is they want to reduce the level from here, which is 44, down to here, which is 11. So we need to work out how much liquid has to be poured out to leave 11 milliliters in the container. So it's 44, take away 11 is 33. So we need to pour out 33 milliliters so that we've got 11 left. But they want to know what fraction of the liquid has to be poured out. So that's 33 mil out of 44, which is what was originally in the container. So the fraction then is 33 over 44, and that simplifies to 3/4. Okay, so have a look at question 6. Stop the video and we'll go through it in a few seconds. Okay, for 6a then, what we want to find out is the probability that the number taken is greater than 100. So there's the numbers are from 1 to 135, and one number is picked at random. So what we need to find out is how many of the numbers are greater than 100. So we've got a total of 135, take away 100 gives 35 numbers that are greater or bigger than 100. So the probability then is 35 out of the total, which is 135. So our answer is 35 over 135. And remember, in probability questions, it isn't necessary to simplify your fractions. You'll get full marks for putting your probability just like that there, 35 over 135. Okay, the second part then is explain why the probability that a girl's number is taken is not a half. So the reason why this would be not a half is because the number of girls and boys are not equal in the group. Because if there were equal girls and boys in the group, then the probability would be exactly a half. So if it's not a half, this must mean that there must be different numbers of girls and boys. In other words, they're not equal.